Hey! Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lolly. I decided to film my go-to makeup look. Like, this is the look I do to go out with friends anytime I just go out anywhere. I don't usually do this for school. If I were to be presenting something, or sometimes a teacher gives us extra credit for dressing up or looking nice, I will do this look for times like that. I don't usually wear makeup to school just because I have a weights class my first hour, so I just don't see why I should put makeup on and then work out, you know? Yeah, that's what today's video is gonna be. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. So I've already prepped my face. I washed it, moisturized it, and I have my primer on. I did my eyebrows just because I just don't think doing them on camera is just, I don't know. Like, I've been watching YouTube beauty gurus for a long time, and I'd always be like, excuse me, why are you not showing us how you did your eyebrows? Like, but now it kind of makes sense. Anyway, so for today, I'm gonna use my Maybelline Fit Me Foundation in the shade 310. Oh, and for my primer today, I just used the Professional mattifying primer because I have very oily skin. And I'm just gonna take my beauty blender. I need to wash it, so just gonna dot this everywhere. I already filmed a video like this, but I deleted it because it was just not good. The lighting was really bad. I did it when it was like 9 o'clock at night and I didn't have natural lighting. But my mom got like this ring light, so I'm kind of using that. It's kind of nifty. I really like this foundation because my face doesn't get as oily. It's one of my favorites. I really like foundations that have a matte finish, well, like obviously because I have oily skin. Another foundation that I think is really good for oily skin would be the Estee Lauder Double Wear. That one's really good too. I used that one during the summer because when I first purchased it, it was during the summer when I was a lifeguard and I was super tan. So that foundation is not my winter shade. Okay, and I usually just go with one layer of this. I would say it's medium to full coverage. It pretty much covered all of my red spots from those freaking nasty pimples I've been getting. I think it's a good foundation for a drugstore, and it's a good affordable price. So for concealer, I'm gonna go in with my Tarte Shape Tape. This is in the shade medium, and I'm just gonna put this under my eyes. I know this concealer gets talked about a lot, but it's just because it's just that good. Like, this concealer deserves the hype. This is like the third tube I've bought in. I really think if you want to splurge on a really good concealer, this is definitely worth it. And I don't put very much under here because it's so thick and so like full coverage that just a little bit goes a long way. Most people put the concealer on their eyelid just to prime, but I have really oily eyelids and I just feel that with concealer it's just messy for me. I really do have the worst eye bags because my senioritis is like at an all-time high, so I do all of my work last minute. So you already know I've been staying up till like 2 in the morning doing assignments that I had weeks to do. But yeah, you know what, that's my life. But I'm so close to graduation. I'm so excited. Today I didn't have school, but I had to go to present this science project that I have for my anatomy class. And that was like at 7 this morning, and I went to bed at 1 trying to perfect it. So now I'm just gonna set that. I don't normally bake when I do this look. I usually bake only when I'm going somewhere where I really have to dress up and look nice. So maybe for like a party. But for this look, I'm just gonna set it with my Wet n Wild contouring palette. And I'm gonna take this one. So I'm just gonna set my concealer with that. This is a really good palette and it's literally like $2. Well, is it $2? I actually don't remember. I'm just setting everywhere that I put that concealer. Okay, now I'm gonna take my Maybelline Fit Me face powder in the shade 130, and I'm gonna take my e.l.f. kabuki brush. And like I said earlier, I don't usually when I said that I don't usually bake when I do this look, when I'm going out to somewhere where I need my makeup to last a long time, I take my Airspun and I just pat this all over my face and kind of dust it away. So like, I'm not really baking my whole face, I just pat it on there and then I dust it off like right away, you know? You're picking up what I'm putting down? This look takes me about like 30 minutes. I usually go for this because it's quick and easy, and I've done it so many times. Okay, now I'm going to start with my eyes. I'm going to take my Smashbox 24-Hour Wear Photo Finish Shadow Primer. I find this to be really good for oily eyelids. Well, I watch Manny MUA a lot, and he talked about this eyeshadow primer for a while. I wanted to splurge on something one day when I was in Ulta, but I wanted to get something that was worth it. So I got this because I had seen so many good reviews on it, and it's pretty good. I really like it. And I just pat this onto my eyelids. Sometimes I use concealer only when I'm not putting eyeshadow on, and I usually do that for school on days where I really just don't want to look like complete trash, you know? Now I'm going to take my Tartelette palette, and I'm going to take the shade Charmed with this brush just to set that primer and to have a nice clean base, you know, for the colors I'm going to go in with. This, for the eyeshadow look, it's not going to be anything crazy. It's really the simplest eyeshadow look, and it takes like literally 5 minutes. Okay, now that that's all nice and set, I'm going to take my Modern Renaissance palette. This is a palette that I go to, like, and I travel with it. Not that I travel very much, but anytime I go out of town or I'm staying somewhere else, I always reach for this palette. Like, I always take this palette with me. So for this, I'm going to be using just these 3 shades, which you probably can tell that I use all the time. I'm going to take the colors, I'm going to take the color Raw Sienna and just buff that into my crease with this Wet n Wild fluffy brush. Okay, now that that is in the crease, and I'm going to take the shade Real Gar, and I'm going to put that in the same place that I put Burnt Orange, and with the same brush. But I'm going to just lightly go in there because it is kind of a bright color and I don't want to overdo it. Just got to be careful. I'm going to take this, it's a clean brush, and I'm just going to use it to blend out just to make sure it's really blended. Blended AF, you know? Okay, now I'm going to take this other Wet n Wild brush. These don't have names on them, so I don't know what they're called, but it looks like this. And I'm going to take the color Cypress Umber, the little that I have of it. And I'm just going to take this and I'm going to put it all over the lid. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with the other fluffier Wet n Wild brush, and I'm going to go in with this Burnt Orange color, and I'm going to blend where the brown and the orangish color meet, so there's no lines and stuff, you know what I mean? Okay, now I'm going to take this brush again, this clean brush, and I'm going to blend just everything, you know what I mean? Just so it looks nice and clean. Okay, now for my lower lash line, I'm going to take this e.l.f. brush. It's called the eyeshadow brush. It's like, looks like this. And I'm going to go in with the Raw Sienna color. And I'm going to just put this on my lower lash line. Okay, now I'm going to mix the colors Real Gar and Burnt Orange and add it to my lower lash line. I go in with a really light hand with this color just because I don't want the bottom of my, just because I don't like, you know what, I just do it. Okay, now I'm going to take this one brush, but I'm going to use the bottom of it, this really tiny thin part, and I'm going to go in with Cypress Umber and put it really, really close to my lower lash line just to give it some depth, even though there's a lot of depth in this already, but that's okay. Okay, now I'm going to go back with the e.l.f. brush and just blend everything with the color Raw Sienna. I hope I'm pronouncing all these right. I feel like I'm not, but maybe I'm just overthinking. If you guys want a good palette, like a high-end palette, I really recommend this one because this is just a perfect warm-toned palette that you can use for everyday makeup, you know? Now I'm going to take my Kathleenlights times Morphe palette, and I'm going to take this color right here with this Real Techniques brush, and I'm just going to use that to highlight my inner corner. This is my favorite shade out of the whole palette. It's not like glittery or chunky, but it's, I don't know how to explain it. I just really like it. I don't always do an inner corner highlight. I do it when I'm feeling myself or something. I don't really know. I'm just going to do it for this video just because, I don't know. I don't know why I do half of the things that I do. Anyway, to finish off the eyes, I'm going to take this NYX white eyeliner pencil. It's in the shade Pure White, and I like to use white eyeliner just so my eyes pop because I feel like I have small eyes, and with the dark colors that the eyeshadow comes with, I think it'll just, I don't know, brighten it up. I'm so bad at explaining myself. I'm so sorry. I got this hack where you use another brush to kind of pull down on your eye. I was watching one of Amanda Ensing's videos and she did this a lot, and I thought it was a really good idea just so I don't, like, I don't know, it was just really a good idea. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do that too. Now I'm just gonna curl my eyelashes with an eyelash curler, and I'm gonna use my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I don't usually wear falsies. I only wear falsies when I'm going to a party or if I'm going somewhere important, which I really don't usually do. This is another product that I think is worth the, you know, it's really volumizing, but I think that it's really lengthening too, because my lashes are really thin and they're just not long at all, and I think this does a really good job of making them look thick and long. Okay, now I'm gonna use my CoverGirl, the supersizer for my bottom lashes, just because the wand is a little skinnier. Okay, now I'm just gonna finish up with the face. I'm gonna take my Wet n Wild contour palette, and I'm gonna take my Wet n Wild brush. I promise this isn't sponsored by Wet n Wild. I wish though. Wow, this is a sad song. And then I'm gonna put this on my forehead. Okay, now that that's done, I'm gonna go in with my Milani blush. It's really bright, but I really go in with this with a really light hand. And I'm gonna use my Real Techniques blush brush. And I'm just gonna lightly just tap. I don't typically wear blush very much, but recently I have. I think it really just, oh my god. I think it really just gives the face a nice color, you know? I don't know, I really love it now. Okay, I don't usually, okay, this is kind of crazy because I feel like everybody does this, like, no matter what, and that this is the biggest part of makeup ever, but I don't usually use highlighter very often because I don't know why, I just don't. It's not that I don't like it, I guess I don't really forget, but I just don't, I guess. But I'm gonna take my Milani highlighter in the shade Strobe Light, and this blush was in the shade Coral Cove, I don't know. And I'm gonna take this blending brush just because I think it's, I don't know, it's just the one that I always use. And I'm just gonna tap this in here and put it on the tops of my cheeks. Okay, I'm not freaking with these depressing songs coming on. I think this is really nice because it's nice and subtle. Can you even see it? Oh, a little bit right there. And my favorite thing about highlighting is highlighting my nose, just because I think nose highlights are the cutest things ever. How cute. Now for my lips, I'm gonna go in with my L'Oreal, and it's in the shade 857 Sunwash, and it's like a nice, I don't really know what to call, like a nice brown. I kind of dab it on there because I don't like it to be like, you know. And then for the finishing, I recently restocked on my Urban Decay De-Slick, but I only got a sample size because I'm a broke high school student. If you haven't already seen my little shopping haul, I got this with it if you want to check that out. This is really good for oily skin. I love it. This is my third, well, I got 2 full sizes and this is my third one. This is not my third full size, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. This is the finishing look. Like I said, I always do this for anytime I go out with friends, or if I'm going to a party, or if I want to look nice for school if I'm presenting something. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want, and I will see you maybe in my next video. Bye!